Hi, the internet. Welcome to the What Else Show. I'm your host, Robert. This is Bethany.
Hi, internet.
And today we've got a brand new episode of the What Else Show. Bethany, what else are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the first episode of Friends.
That's right. We've got another What Else Show first episode, and we're talking about Friends today. Mm-hmm. What's your history with Friends?
Oh, history with Friends. I think I was a sophomore or junior in high school.
You're old.
I'm old. When it first came out, I don't think I started watching it until maybe late in the first season, early second season, maybe. Because I definitely did not see like the first episode and stuff.
Yeah. I had seen the first episode, but it's not when it started. I remember Friends coming into syndication, and I was already watching the show. So when it was in syndication, I was able to catch it from the beginning. So I saw the first episode.
Right. Let's talk about for a second how long it was on, because it was on for a long time.
Oh, sure. We didn't mention like when it started, how many episodes. Okay,
yeah.
Let us know.
Okay.
Astound us.
I will astound you with some stats. So September 22nd, 1994 was the premiere on NBC. It ran for 10 seasons, 236 episodes.
10 seasons.
Yeah, it's a long time. And then the last episode aired May 6, 2004.
2004.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So 10 seasons, 10 years. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day watching it and then watching it from the beginning in syndication, but we were just able to watch it on HBO Max, and it's so much easier.
It is. It is. Yes.
That was back in the day when you had to like set your watch for TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actual TV.
It was awful, guys.
Yes.
You don't know how lucky you got it.
So check it out on HBO Max if you want to watch it.
That's where it's at. And what do you think about the show?
Aside from the nostalgic connection that I have to the show, I really love the show. I think it's funny. I think it's really fun. So I think like nostalgically, when I was younger, I don't think I watched it thinking like, yeah, this is what adulting is like. Like, I think I was a little bit more cynical and not as naive.
Fake.
Right. I mean, it was a show. It's a fictional show, but I did enjoy it for like the entertainment value, and I loved Chandler.
Chandler Bong?
Chandler Bong, yes. And because he was so sarcastic, and I love like sarcasm. He has like that biting sarcasm.
At some point, I stopped watching the show. I don't know if it was because I was busy or I didn't like the show anymore. But toward the end of its run, I had already stopped watching it.
That's so funny because I did too. I don't think I saw the entire last season. I think I was just, I don't know, maybe I moved on to other things, but yeah, I don't remember why I stopped watching it.
Yeah. So should we get into this?
Yeah.
What happens in this episode?
Let's get into it. You want to recap it for us?
Let's recap episode 1 of Friends.
First episode. Yes.
It starts out intro. It's got that intro by the song by the Rembrandts. Yes. They're playing around in a fountain.
They're dancing around. They have umbrellas. Like, look at us. We're so fun and we're adulty kind of.
I hate the intro to Friends.
You do? Why?
I hate the song. It's fine that they're playing in a fountain. I don't care that much. It's just silly. I don't like it. I hate the song.
Okay. Why do you hate the song so much?
I don't know. It gets under my skin.
Was it just like overplayed maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. It's not enough.
Because the Rembrandts had other songs.
It's not enough of a real song to be a good real song, and it's not enough of a TV intro to be a good TV intro. You know what I mean? Like if they were like singing about, the actual show, like it was made for the show, and they threw the characters' names in there, tell them about how they're single and they live in the city,
Right. Okay.
Then
okay. Or just instrumental, no lyrics.
Sure.
Okay.
Or just a song that really rocks, like I don't even care this is an intro. This song is awesome.
Like an anime intro. Okay.
So that's the intro.
Yes.
We start off, we get right into Central Perk.
Yes, right into the coffee shop.
One of the worst puns of pun coffee shop there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Central Perk. We like go right through the window.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right into the coffee shop.
There we see all of our friends, sans Rachel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right?
And
Who else isn't there?
Ross.
Ross is not there?
Ross is not there
Oh,
yet.
that's right.
Ross isn't
they
there
come
yet.
in, and then because Ross comes in and he's explaining that him and his wife are divorced. Separated? Divorced.
They're separating, getting a divorce. She's leaving him for another woman.
Right.
Yeah.
So they both move out of where they were currently staying. Or he moves out. I don't remember.
She moved out.
She moved out.
She
He moved
moved-
out because he's in a new apartment.
No, she took all the furniture.
Oh, same apartment.
Yes, same apartment. Remember, she left her beer in the fridge. Same apartment, but she got all the furniture. So we're skipping ahead. Okay, so it opens on the coffee shop.
Yeah, we're still talking about that.
Okay.
I'm not. You're skipping ahead.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not skipping
So I felt like right away they start setting up the little character quirks of
Yeah.
all the characters. They're talking about, they insinuate Monica's terrible luck with men.
Okay.
They set up Phoebe's weird / quirkiness.
Right. She's kind of like supposed to be.
She's kind of a hippie.
Yeah. Trying to be
and
spiritual.
metaphysical. and
Don't care for it.
cleansing auras and stuff like that. So like she's kind of weird, kind of ditzy, right? So they set that up. They set up Chandler's, joke telling.
Right.
So in a very short span of time, they give us a really good idea
Of the characters.
the various personality traits of the characters. I thought they do a good job.
Let's talk about Joey's hair. It's weird.
Joey has the weirdest hair.
Look at it. It's weird.
Google it.
No, I'm gonna put it in the show.
Oh, okay. I've never.
I didn't remember.
I didn't either. It just never dawned on me that he had such weird hair. And I think I had that same haircut when I was in elementary school.
I can see that. They're in there talking. They're talking about Ross and his wife splitting up. And then in comes Rachel in a wedding dress.
Yes.
Rachel's left her wedding. She just left her wedding because it was in the city and Monica's the only person she knew.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Decided not to go through with it. She couldn't do it.
Right. Next scene, we're in Monica's apartment.
Yes.
Rachel's still there in the wedding dress. She's talking on the phone to like her parents, her father.
Yeah, she's talking to her dad.
She's trying to convince her to go back to the wedding, and she alludes to that she's just going to stay with Monica. So Rachel moved herself into Monica's apartment
Yeah.
without even asking.
She did, and because she kind of goes, well, maybe I'll just stay here with Monica, and then everybody else in the room, they all kind of like turn and look at each other, and Monica's like, oh, so I guess she's staying here now. Yeah, I thought that was rude, but it also kind of alludes to like that kind of like spoiled,
Only
kind of-
thinks about herself.
yeah, selfish characteristic.
Let's talk about Jennifer Aniston for a second. This is
Yes.
before the Rachel haircut, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's off-putting. And she's doing like a voice or something, a character that's a little bit different from what I remember.
Oh, from normal Rachel? Yeah, so keep in mind, this is the first episode, and Joey does the same thing.
Yeah, they haven't quite nailed down the characters yet.
Yeah, and I think in this episode, they're like overacting a little
Definitely,
bit. Yeah. So yeah, I noticed Joey does the same thing, and Rachel definitely does that. She kind of has like a fake affectation to her voice, and yeah.
Okay. Rachel decides she's staying with Monica. Monica's got a big date with Paul the wine guy.
Paul the wine guy. Yes. Yes.
Paul the wine guy shows up, and then Monica is like, oh, should I cancel my date? And everybody's like, no, just go. And then Ross is like, hey, Rachel, you want to come and hang out with Joey and Chandler and me? We're going over to my apartment to make my new furniture.
Yes.
They ask Phoebe to go, but she says, no, thank you. I don't want to.
She says, I wish I could, but I don't want to.
Yes.
Like one of my favorite Phoebe responses ever. I love that. I wish I could, but I don't want to.
I think Phoebe is in the show
Great.
the least in this first episode.
We barely see her.
Cut to Ross's apartment.
Yes, Ross's
And
apartment.
they're building furniture, and Ross is
Yes.
sad about his separation.
Yes.
Joey tries to console him, and that goes back and forth for a while. We cut over to Monica on her date with Paul the wine guy.
Mm-hmm.
Paul the wine guy basically explains a story to Monica where he split up with his wife and hasn't been able to perform sexually since then. It's been 2 years.
For 2 years, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We cut back to Ross's apartment, and he's like, "Oh, who am I ever gonna find again?" And then we cut to Rachel looking off out the window longingly with a bed of music playing.
It's
a really
weird musical interlude.
Yeah.
It felt like an end of episode. I was like, is the episode over?
Yeah.
It felt like an end of episode musical interlude.
It was a weird, unnecessary sincere moment in the show.
Yeah. So they're like shoving it down our throats that Ross and Rachel might eventually be a thing. Mm-hmm. Like, okay.
Yeah, it started off in the first episode. A will they or won't they? Ross and Rachel.
Right from
first episode.
Right from episode 1. Yeah.
We cut back to Monica's. The only settings we have are Monica's apartment, Ross's apartment, and then we cut
the coffee shop.
The coffee shop. We cut to the restaurant where Monica's at.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the kitchen where Monica works.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So we're in Monica's apartment. It's the morning. It's the morning after. Monica's already slept with Paul the wine guy.
Yep.
And Rachel and Chandler and Joey are all there before work. I don't know. I mean, Chandler's really the only one that punches a clock, but he's there before work.
Yeah, like I guess
they're up early, bro.
They're up pretty early, and they make it very clear that Rachel is terrible at making coffee. She can't really do anything for herself. Mm-hmm. She's not self-sufficient.
Yeah, she didn't know what a job was called.
Like,
oh, I'm gonna get one of those.
Jobs? And like she could barely say it. Like she couldn't even really say it. She couldn't
like remember what they were called.
Job.
Maybe it's got a shop, a job.
Oh, I'm so gonna call it my job from now on. Very fancy. It's a job.
That goes on. Paul the wine guy leaves from Monica's room. Monica's there, but he leaves the apartment, and everybody's like, "Oh, what's going on?" You know? Does she mention? She doesn't mention anything to them.
No, she doesn't tell them the story at that point. Not yet.
That's when we cut to Monica at work, and she's telling a coworker.
Yes, and then the coworker.
Yeah, the coworker says the same thing.
Yes.
She's like, "Oh, I know Paul the wine guy intimately."
Yes, yeah.
Because he also used that same line on her that he couldn't perform sexually
for 2 years
and had sex with her.
Yeah.
Great move. I think he's Me Tooing people. I don't know. I don't know if this cult. He used to be just a creep. Now he might be a rapist.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what the culture is like.
I don't know. A little emotional manipulation to try and get girls into bed. Monica. So they're back in the coffee shop now. Right? And Monica is very dejected. She's very upset that Paul lied to her. And of course, Joey is like, I can't believe that you didn't know that was a lie.
Joey thinks it's funny.
Yeah, Joey thinks it's really funny. But, but it's really not because she's, really bummed.
Yeah,
she thought he was a nice guy.
Is that all that happens in the coffee shop?
Oh, Phoebe offers to examine her feet for, I guess,
it's not
bad vibes.
It's not part of the plot, but then let's keep going.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think that's all that happens there. Okay. Yeah.
So we're back in Monica's
apartment again. Yes, we're back in Monica's apartment. Ross was hanging out there with Monica and Rachel, and they were just like, it looked like they were maybe like staying up all night watching TV because they're all three of them now are like, emotionally
damaged.
Yes. Well, they're all like down in the dumps. Monica had her disappointment. Ross's wife just left him. Rachel left her wedding. So they're all just kind of commiserating, staying up all night. Monica goes to bed and Ross and Rachel stay up and they chat a little bit. And that's when... go ahead.
Ross tells her that when they were younger, he had a crush on her.
Yes.
Ross had a crush on Rachel. Mm-hmm. Rachel says, I know. And then Ross is like, oh, I thought you were just thought of me as Monica's geeky older brother. And Rachel was like, I did. And then Ross asks her, would it be okay if I asked you out one of these days? Yes. And then she says yes, but he doesn't ever actually ask her out.
Not then.
Yeah.
In that episode, he doesn't ask her. He was like, well, maybe I will.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. And then next it cuts to the coffee shop.
Uh-huh.
And we see now everybody's there. We don't see Rachel right away. And Chandler's telling another story about, I had this dream, right? So he's telling the story. And then Rachel comes up and she's a waitress at the coffee shop.
She's working at the coffee shop in the first episode.
Yes.
She's not a waitress.
She has a
episode
job.
1.
She has a job.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then that's the end of the episode.
That is the end of the
That's
episode.
it. It's
that was
really
kind of
short.
like an after credits scene, actually.
Yeah, it was played over the credits.
Yeah, so it was like the credits were going, and then that's kind of what's going on behind the credits. Chandler's telling the story, and Rachel works at the coffee shop.
Yep.
So yeah, it was
Friends episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah, it kind of went by. It went by pretty fast. It didn't seem. Did you feel like any like dragging or?
Just that part with the with
looking out the
Rachel
window
out the
thing.
window, yeah.
I did not like that at all. Like, I just felt like
I felt like the show went by pretty fast, and there was like a lot of jokes per second. But they were awfully generous with the laugh track, like using the laugh track. I think, oh, was that a joke? What kind of mood are they trying to put me in?
we did chuckle ourselves.
Yeah,
we did.
I
chuckle.
laughed at least twice.
You laughed more than that.
I said at least twice, Bethany.
Okay, sorry.
I laughed no more than 7 times.
I laughed a lot. A lot of it too was like, I remember
Nostalgic
Yeah,
laughs?
very sometimes nostalgic. I forgot how funny Chandler is, and that sarcasm. Yeah, I really like that. Like, he's kind of mean.
Yeah.
But I love sarcasm, so I really like that. Yeah, it went by really fast, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was a good episode. It's a good.
What do you think about this
episode.
as a first episode?
As a first episode, I thought it was superb because right from the get-go, they set up the little strange personality quirks,
the relationships. You know, each member of the cast kind of has their personality, and you get a little glimpse of everybody and how they relate to each other in this episode. So, as a first episode, awesome. Yeah, I agree. It's a good first episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I mean, it's one of the more recent episodes that we've watched the first episode of. The humor tracks well, you know?
Yeah, it's not like out of date.
It's like modern humor.
Jokes.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of jokes per second.
there are.
Yeah.
Yes.
But watching this, you'd never think that it's going to go 10 seasons. The strength of this first episode is not a 10 season strength episode.
It's not. But it does. If I had never watched Friends and I had seen the first episode, it would make me want to watch the rest of them. It would make me want to like keep watching. So in that sense, it was a good episode. But yeah, you don't feel the gravity of 10 seasons in this first episode.
Yeah. Maybe I even watched the first episode and I was like, you know what? I'm more of a Living Single guy. You remember Living Single with Queen Latifah? I think they played opposite each other. One on Fox, one on NBC. I don't know. Maybe we'll do Living Single first episode later on.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. I think I used to watch that instead of Friends until I started watching Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think Seinfeld pulled me into Friends.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. So yeah, great first episode. Really, and it's fun.
It was good.
It's fun. It's a fun show.
So anything else stand out besides Joey's hair and Rachel's hair?
I remember watching that episode. I remember how much I loved the show. Yeah.
One thing I noticed is there's so much stuff in Monica's apartment.
Yes.
There's so much stuff.
So much stuff.
She's got to be dusting all the time.
It is because she's it's so
cluttery. I thought she was a neat freak.
She is.
Interesting.
But she just has a lot of clutter. Maybe she does dust all the time.
Maybe.
I don't know, but yeah, it's just
she has to live dusting.
Stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, really odd. Yeah.
That's what I noticed.
Yeah, we don't see Joey and Chandler's apartment in this episode.
Not in this episode
at all. So I'm looking forward to that.
Do we rate these? No.
We
just say if they're good or not.
We just say if they're good or not. I think it's good.
And we're done?
Yeah.
So take us out?
Yeah, I think so. Take us out.
All right, guys. That was Friends. First episode. Episode 1 of Season 1, Episode 1 of Friends. Joey, Chandler, Monica, Ross, Rachel, Phoebe. That's it. And that's it. Thanks for watching the show, Internet. You can follow the show on Twitter at What Else Show. We're also on Instagram at The What Else Show. Please like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. And we're trying to get 200 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So remember to subscribe and yell at other people to subscribe.
Yes. Thank you.
152 right
152.
As I'm saying this. Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.
I don't know the difference between manipulation and influence. It's been rattling around in my head. Leave a comment if you can like define them